Alright, welcome to the new video. Today I have a guest with me. He's a good friend of mine who's known me before therapy and after therapy, and I wanted to bring a couple people in just to kind of get their general feelings as to how different things have been and since therapy. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this over to Justin and let him say what he wants to say.
Okay. I would say with the therapy, I've definitely noticed a change in your behavior, like positive ways and positive ways. You definitely seem a lot more friendly, a lot more sociable. I feel like you were pretty extrovert before, but I mean, you seem more outgoing when you're extrovert now.
Yeah, that's probably a fair thing. I mean, friendly, yeah. I can't even argue that one because that's true. I definitely have noticed myself that I'm less annoyed with people.
I can tell. I still remember a bunch of stories. So I remember, that one guy at Denny's who overheard us.
No, listen, that I still stand by that. But go ahead. Let you put your side, and then I'll explain some of mine.
I don't even remember. I think we were talking about Spectrum or internet or something like that, and talking about how it sucks that we don't have AT&T Uverse because it's cheaper in the area. And I guess the guy overhears our conversation, and he starts trying to offer all this feedback and just jumps in the middle of the conversation from literally nowhere off the street. And he's just like, "Oh, hey, like, I had AT&T where I lived, and it was spectacular." And you just look like very annoyed that he kind of,
I'll say about that. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be different with therapy, and the reason is because to me, I think it's rude as hell to like just interject yourself into somebody else's conversation. Like I just for me, I don't know. I mean, everyone has different levels of like comfortability and what they feel is normal or not normal. I just felt like that was rude to begin with. And then two, like he wouldn't leave. It'd be one thing if you just like came over and you was like, "Oh, hey, I had AT&T and it was kind of cool and blah blah blah. Y'all have a good one," and then leave. No, he wouldn't leave. Like he kept trying to get in more and more in the conversation. And it's like, guy, I don't know you. We're obviously a group of friends like about to leave. Like, just don't interject yourself in that conversation. So I'm not sure therapy would. I don't know if I'd be as annoyed, but I still wouldn't be like
super like casual about it.
Yeah, I just wouldn't because I just don't like it. And I'll tell you, so we went to the Renaissance Fair as I told you, and
right.
Most of the people there were cool. I had you went. I mean, you saw the people.
Oh, yeah.
But for the education day, it was about, it was probably like half the stuff was there.
Wow.
Which sucks in a way because like I know what was there, but they didn't because they had never been. But it was still kind of a cool experience for them as kids and, but like, dude, there was this guy next to us during the jousting that just. Like, my sister and how nice she is.
Yeah.
Even she was, like, wanting to throw a water bottle at this dude.
Wow.
And I'm like...
What was he doing?
Just kept making stupid comments and just being obnoxious and, like... Just, like, kept, like, bumping into people. And, like, it was like, dude, come on, man. Like, you're obviously probably drunk. And it's like...
Well, on the education day?
That's what's messed up. It's like every parent there, like, had to be with a kid. Like, everyone had to have a kid. For the most part, I mean, you could be with a group as long as there was kids, and I'm like, dude, you're there with kids, and like, you're obviously like drunk, and like, it's a thing for kids, bro. And it was like, bro, it was like 2 o'clock. It started at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, dude, how are you drunk at 1 o'clock in the afternoon? And like,
do they sell alcohol?
Yeah, they were still doing it, which I thought was a bit strange to begin with, because I was like, dude, it's like a kid's day. Why are you selling alcohol?
Maybe like they're probably like the parents need to unwind a little bit. Yeah.
Well. It was weird because, like, one of the jousters got hurt. Like, he got pretty, not, like, deathly or, like, but it definitely looked like I was like, dude, that would hurt like hell when I saw what happened. Because, like, basically, so what happened is, I don't know how much you remember, but you remember the blue and the red guy when you were there? I don't know if you watched the jousting. But,
I think so. I didn't watch it this time around, but okay. I think I remember what you're talking about.
Well, one of the guys, the black and yellow guy, the evil guy, the one that I liked the most last year, he was there again, because, of course. So they were jousting, and I don't know what you call it, the jousting stick. I'm sure there's a name for it. I don't know what it is. It went between the armor on his shoulder and the chest plate, and it hit him like right in the shoulder, and it like hit it hard enough to shatter the stick.
Jeez.
And like it was obviously not like a prop thing, because like that dude almost fell off the horse because of how bad it hurt.
Oh man.
And like it was one of those things where like you could immediately tell
that he was not okay.
But he, like, to his credit, for the kids, this dude was trying to like play it off and like. But, like, he kind of went, you know, like, that back corner where, like, all the horses came in?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, like, over there in that corner, and, like, he was, like, and I was like, oh, this dude's about to pass out. Like, he was literally, like, he was, like, shaking, I was like, oh, that's not good.
Oh, jeez.
And then, like, the stewards or whatever, like, that, you know, do the rings and stuff, like, they were running over to him to see if he's okay, and he was like, I'm, like, he was doing that thing of, like, listen, I'm hurting, but just for the kids, keep this, it's fine, play it off. And then, like, he ended up just, like, leaving. But then the guy was, like, calling him a wuss and stuff. And I'm like, bro, you get in there and get hit by one of those and tell me you're going to be able to just be like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah, no less, like, impact, you know, you got the force of, like, the horse riding you.
riding at each other. You're taking that full bore into your chest. And, like, I don't know what, I genuinely don't know what went wrong. I don't know if the shield didn't catch it the right way or like it was supposed to, or if, like, something was just off position. But I know the guy that got hit was training a new horse. And I'm thinking that something happened and he wasn't either in the right position or I don't know what happened, but like I'm guessing something wasn't right and he caught him and like even he was like the characters all dropped and it was just like, oh man, like I hope this guy's okay. So like for me, like as therapy, I was less annoyed by the drunk guy until that point. Because at that point I was like, God, you can see this dude is hurt. Like I don't care if you want to talk crap, but, like, when a guy is hurt, you don't talk crap anymore. Like, this guy's hurt. He's out here doing this for fun for kids, and, like, that hurts. And you're going to be like, oh, dude, you're a wuss for, like, not going to get him. I'm like, bro, you go out there and get hit
by that, yeah.
Like, I bet you get hit by that, you ain't gonna... I bet if you have armor and you get hit, you're not gonna be like, oh, it didn't hurt. Like, no.
I feel like it's like one of those things, though, you know, where the people try and tell the athletes, like, oh, if I was in your situation, it wouldn't hurt. But it's like, until you actually do it or train for it, you don't know how hard it is.
There's no way that doesn't hurt. Like, there's just no way. Like, to hit hard enough to shatter that thing, and, like... I mean, it was cool because, like, you saw how professional these guys were, and I don't want to go on a whole rant about it, but, like... when he saw that it, like the guy that the evil guy that when he saw it hit the wrong way, he immediately dropped the stick. Which I was at first I was like I thought it was a reaction, but I was talking to him afterwards and he was talking. I asked him, I was like, hey, is he okay? And he was saying, he's like, yeah. He's like, I mean, unfortunately it happens. He's like, that's why we learn to like when we see it going wrong, we drop the stick to kind of immediately curtail the momentum. But what he didn't realize is that the thing had shattered. So like, well, because it didn't hurt any worse or less, but he thought like in the split second, his natural instinct was that he thought it was still driving into his chest, so he was trying to let go, so that it would just drop the momentum and be done. He didn't realize like there was no momentum left to drop.
Jeez.
But it was kind of fun. I mean, the nieces and nephews had fun. The king was there, of course, and the queen gave my niece some coins, and I again tried to convince the people to revolt, but. I got the Viking camp on board again. Like, every year the Viking camp's down for it, but nobody else seems to be.
Nice.
Yeah, then we watched some magic show. And
wait, they had a magic show?
Yeah, they had a magic show. I will tell you, there is one thing I was a little sad about, is that legitimately, you can ask my sister, they tried to get me to come on stage because they picked somebody out of the audience, and, like, they picked me because I was texting you. About the king, and apparently he thought I wasn't paying attention, so he was like, oh, you're perfect, come on up. And I'm like, nah, and she came down like with his like sidekick, and it was his wife, and she comes down and she's like, oh, you're gonna play the pirate king, and I'm like, nah.
Oh.
No, I'm not. Like,
that's how you could have overthrown the king. You become the pirate king, bro.
I should have, but like they took the guy on stage, and like the amount of stuff they had him do, I was like, oh no, I'm not ready for that level of out of my comfort zone.
If you think that's bad, you should have. Did you see Shelly Buttons again, the acrobatus woman?
No, but was that the pregnant one? Or was
no, it was the one with the like the platinum blonde hair, and she's like short, pretty good shape. She would juggle and do like acrobatics. She was a solo act.
I don't think she was there this time, or she might have been there, but I didn't see her.
She was there last Saturday, and I was gonna say at least you weren't the guy that she was on top of. So she got a random guy from the audience for one of her tricks. She stood on top of him. You know, she's a master juggler, but she messes with the guy, so she actually has like real like swords. So she throws them to the ground to show they're sharp, jumps on top of the guy, grabs like 3 or 4 knives or swords, starts juggling them, kind of winks at the crowd and like drops one of the knives directly in front of him to make him, you know, freak out.
As weird as it is, I would have been fine with that.
Yeah?
Because here's my problem. That one is just, you're just standing there.
Right.
And you're just, that's it. Like, you're not having to, like, the problem I have with the magic one is they wanted you to, like, act and, like, partake in the theatrics and, like, I'm not at that level of comfortability, like, with acting or just in general to, like...
To do that?
And, like, because it was a lot of, like, stuff that you had to, like, they had you do. Like, you had to, like, handcuff the magician, and I was like, that sucks. I would have actually liked to have been, like, that much a part of it. But then they started making him, like, do, like, acting and stuff, and I was like, nah, I'm good on that. I'm
going to say at least you were a part of another thing then. There was, I think they're called the Splatter Time Brothers, and they had somebody come up...
I saw them, but they weren't, like...
Bro, this last time I went, they had somebody come up. It was a guy, and they had him play like the role of a damsel in distress, so he had to act.
What was interesting is like my niece and nephews, like we have the Viking history, so like in the Viking encampment, we were showing them a lot of cool stuff. But then I found one, a little table that you might have even thought was cool. You might have seen it. I don't know. It was where she was showing you like all your crests and your family history and what the name of like the history of your name meant.
Nice.
And we looked up everybody's. I looked up yours and. I gotta be honest with you, yours is gonna be a little disappointing for you.
Let me guess. It was something probably about slaves or black.
No. It was actually like just like the meaning of your name in old lore. Yours was just.
Just?
That's it.
I like that, bro. You could say just as in, you know, a just cause or just that is righteous.
Or it's just Justin. I mean, it was kind of cool though, because yeah, you got to see like kind of like where, because yours it's an English like origin of the name and like. It kind of talked about like some qualities of the people and everything, but it's kind of cool because, like I said, you got to I looked up your name and I didn't look up Quartz. It's the only one I forgot to look up.
Okay.
But my sister and them got to see theirs. They got to see the family crests that we have and.
Watch, I bet you Quartz would have been something like, oh, Royal King or he who was blessed by God or.